Hi, and welcome to the Dark Knight Conspiracies, Episode 6. I'm not going to take it anymore. Folks, this will be the only time you're probably going to see me rant, but I am pissed off, and I'm tired of it. I've been trying to red pill people for 30 years, and I'll start with the UFO stuff. This has been going on years and years and years, and I got into other subjects with people. And all I ever heard was, our government's not that powerful. Oh, you're crazy. You're nuts. Well, you know what? For 70 years, going back to Roswell, this shit's been covered up. And all we see today, all of a sudden, UFOs are everywhere. Now all of a sudden, there's a UFO task force. Well, let me tell you something. 90% of the stuff you're probably seeing out there now is probably ours. You know, technology we got now, our cell phones, computers, they had all that shit back then. I'll give you an example. Everybody's watched the World War II movies, right? You always saw a guy in the World War II movies, had a backpack on him with a little telephone. He'd hit the ringer. Uh, I didn't see any telephone lines wired up to him, yet they were able to communicate to other units on the field and to headquarters. You know what that's called, folks? It's called a cell phone. Everything we have now, they had 50 years ago. I'm tired of this shit. And I'm trying to red pill people. Oh, the government, they're not that powerful. They can't do this stuff. The hell they can't. They've been doing it. And we've been blind and sitting on our asses and letting them get away with it. And I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the whole Q stuff. And before all you people start commenting with your hate speech on Q, listen, I believe it's real. I believe a lot of stuff is true on that site. But I'll tell you what, I also believe a lot of stuff has happened behind the scenes that we're not going to be privy to. I get all that. But when I try and red pill people and I get them involved in this stuff and they get hooked, and then all of a sudden they're coming back to me and saying, this shit don't matter anymore. Nothing happens to these people. We're 4 years into this. And you know what we got to show for it? One idiot loser who pled guilty, wasn't arrested, but pled guilty to altering an email. And what do we hear from the Q board? You can't tell people, you have to show them. Well, they're right, because I've been telling people and I've been telling people, and they're not buying it anymore. They're starting to flock away. When they ask, well, show me who's in Gitmo, show me who's been arrested, show me all this stuff, I can't show them. This is Q's thing. You have to show them, right? Well, what has Q shown us? We got no arrests. We're 3 weeks away from an election. Sorry. I understand some of this stuff might happen after the election. I understand Trump needs to probably be reelected, because if he was to arrest all these people during his first term, if Biden does win, and I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me how this is possible, given the Trump rallies and nobody shows up for Biden. If Biden wins, all these people are just going to be pardoned and everything goes away. We've also seen trust Barr, trust Ray, trust Sessions. Well, Q has also told us disinformation is necessary. So who are we to trust? What are we to trust? I'm fed up. People are fed up. They want to see something. And that they're not going to see it. Getting back into the corrupt politicians. I'll just use an example. Maxine Waters. It's got a $5 million house. Her annual salary is maybe 200,000 at best, maybe a little lower. How many of you $200,000 people can afford a $5 million house? These people get into government and they walk out millionaires. How can you not tell me this stuff is corrupt? But yet I gotta hear people telling me, oh, they're not that powerful. The government's not that powerful. I'm tired. You know, this is our fault. All you people, you sit on your couches, on your fat asses, waiting for Q to save the day. I got news for you. Q's not going to save the day. We elected these people. This has been going on for decades. Yes, some of us are starting to wake up. But we're at the point now where you're still not going to get people to believe in anything because they got to be shown something. They're ignoring facts. I get that. But we're at this stage in the game. If people haven't decided one way or the other, I'm not sure what you can show them that's going to change their minds other than the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. And we all know what that involves, and the Jeffrey Epstein. But that's going to be a little late in the game after this election. Um, all the people on the queue that believe in the queue, we all understand that the beginning was the end. So if we go to the very first post, which supposedly says Hillary Clinton will be arrested on October 30th. Well, I can't see that happening. Not right now. Because there'll be mass riots in the streets. The, the Dems will go nuts. Unless the whole point of the thing was that there won't be an election. Because I don't see, if there's riots going on constantly through every major city, I don't see how people can vote. Trying to calm down here, but I can't. I'm getting it from all angles. Friends, family. People need something to grasp onto, and they're not getting it. Now, the only thing I'm trying to tell people, the election's the most important part of this whole thing. We have to re-elect Donald Trump. There is no alternative. But for all this conspiracy theories and everything, yeah, Q did give us drops, okay? He told us there'd be declassifications. We're getting those. But we haven't gotten a single arrest. And this is what is turning people off. So if you're out there listening to me, Q, bring something to the table. Somebody. You can't tell me we couldn't have arrested a Jim Comey or a John Brennan to get the people to unite and believe in this movement. I'm not saying this movement didn't do any good. It did. But we're 4 years into this now. So that's my rant. I've tried red pilling people all these years, and, that's all I heard. I was a nut. I was a nutcase. I was a conspiracy theorist. Most of the times they humored me. But I've been following this stuff back into the 80s. 9/11, I I can't even get anybody to listen to any of that stuff. We've been told that's going to come out. Oh, Trump's going to release that. Trump's going to, well, okay. Well, he hasn't. Okay. Now, my prediction I will give is if Trump gets reelected, I believe he will step down probably within the first year of being reelected. And I'll tell you why. People lost their lives. The whole nursing home thing, some have said the COVID thing was put on by the deep state, but Trump used that to his advantage. But for how long? Is there a cure? If there is, well, when did he know it? And when was he going to share it? I understand we're in a war and there's casualties. But if there was knowledge that they knew what these governors were going to do with these nursing homes and let it happen, well, then they're just as guilty. And I don't know how they can sleep at night. I get it. There's casualties in war. And I'll end with just a quote from the Star Trek movie, The Wrath of Khan, where Spock sacrificed himself for the good of the Enterprise. And the comment was, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And I guess that speaks volumes. So I apologize to everybody for my rant. This was just building up in me, and I had to get it out. I apologize if I offended anybody. I thank you all for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, everybody.